I've heard all sorts of things about milk, cow's milk, being bad for you. Now, I do not suffer from lactose intolerance issues, but I have heard that the amino acids there supposedly acts poorly inside the human body, causing problems and so forth, especially as you get older. Is there any truth to this? I am reluctant to do the alternative, which is soy milk, considering all the bad things about it. Thanks, and keep up the good work. And my answer is, all the nasty things said about milk are said, written, and published by vegetarian, animal rights crazies, and other assorted loonies who don't want people to see animals as a food source. They are selling pseudo-junk science, hoping no one gets wise to their game or catches their lies. Just a couple of months ago, an anthropological journal published a study showing how Europeans developed stronger bodies and survived better than other races because they ate milk. Another study showed that lactose intolerance came from not drinking milk. Further, if milk were introduced back into the body would once again start making the lactase in order to digest the milk within just a few months. This has been my clinical experience as well. Another great lie is that Africans and Asians don't digest milk very well. I'll tell that to the Maasai and to the Zulu in Africa, both cattle herders and great milk drinkers. Tell that to the Hindus of India who supplement their vegetarian diet liberally with milk and eggs to make up for the animal proteins and fats they know they're not getting from their vegetables. My dad was Chinese and he drank milk with impunity as I do. The last big lie is one we're all taught in school, that milk ingestion increases mucus production. I challenged the world's leading homeopath to show me one study to validate that claim, and after searching around, he couldn't. Seems it's one of those old wives' tales that gets believed because everyone says it and believes that it's true. And everyone teaches it as if it were true with no evidence to validate it. If milk did produce mucus, it would be the greatest boon to arthritis sufferers, as mucus is what constitutes synovial fluid that lubricates joints. Old folks would never need naproxen or glucosamine, which is a mucopolysaccharide. It's basically dried snot. They wouldn't need any of that stuff to ease their joint pain. They would simply drink milk to get their mucus, if that old wives' tale was true. My favorite form of milk is goat's milk, available in most supermarkets under the Meyenberg brand. The Hunzas of Armenia are the longest-lived people on the planet. They eat a diet consisting of 70% goat meat, goat milk, goat cheese, goat yogurt, the rest being leafy green, seasonal fruit, dried fruit, and rough bread. Now, don't believe the stories about Hunza bread. There ain't no such animal. The anthropologists who have gone to Hunza land have not found any of the Hunza bread that you read so liberally about on the internet to make the Hunzas seem as if they're vegetarians. The Hunzas are far from being vegetarians. They're voracious carnivores. Look around at the non-milk drinkers. They are shorter with frail bones, smaller structures than the cheeseheads. Walk through Amsterdam and look at the largest consumers of cow dairy products in Europe, the Dutch. They are all big-boned, they are tall, they are beautiful, they are well-muscled, they look like Greek gods. Remember that the average vegetarian has a life expectancy of 56. www.westonaprice.org, westonaprice.org has more on milk drinking and its physiological advantages. Now, for all the folks who worry about the supposed hormones in milk, the bovine growth hormone and the estrogens that are fed to cows to make them do whatever, to fatten them up, know that these hormones, these animal hormones, die at about 140 degrees. It's actually a range between 130 some odd and 150 some odd, averages out to about 140. So, these hormones don't survive the pasteurization process. Think about that. These hormones, these animal hormones, do not survive the pasteurization process, whereas the bad hormones in soy, in flax, are vegetable lipids. They do survive very high heat. They do survive cooking. So you can turn soy into tofu, you can cook it, and you'll still have 4 digits worth of estrogen in there. So don't let any of the animal rights crazies, any of the PETA crowd, make you think that drinking milk is bad for your health because of the hormones that are given to cows. Likewise, the hormones that are found in meat, and I've said this before, but it bears retelling, those get destroyed in the cooking process as well, because animal hormones denature, they die off, they become ineffective, cooked at about 140 degrees. So why are these folks being so disingenuous? They have an agenda. Number one, they need to lower the world's population, and they want to lower the world's population by about 2/3, because human beings are a virus on the planet, and we shouldn't be here. So the less sturdy you are, the less strong you are, the less healthy you are, the faster you'll get sicker and die off, and the least time you'll stay. These folks don't want you seeing Bessie the cow as a food source, or Billy the goat, or Molly the chicken, or any of the other animals as a food source, because these animals should be free to roam and take over the planet and live as they once lived in their glorious splendor of nature. Are you gagging on this crap yet? These folks actually believe this stuff. Now, I've got a challenge for them. If you think, you PETA members, you animal rights folks, if you think that mankind is a plague and a virus on the planet and that we should all leave, you first. You volunteer. Why are you waiting for the rest of us to catch up with your wonderful ideals, with your enlightened outlook? Why don't you all show us the way and go first? And with that, I'll say God bless and be well till we chat again next time.